Bruce, I talked to some of the players, and there's kind of mixed feelings about this later start. Just where do you fall on that? Would you prefer to play at 7, or does it really not matter?
I prefer earlier. We're used to that, just out of routine, but doesn't matter to me now. I think where it affects is if you a later night, catching up on your sleep. I don't even know what Minnesota's doing. If it was us, we'd have to make a decision. Are we staying over? Are we flying? You know what I mean? Those are the things that get factored in the later you play, especially when you consider overtime. Could be, so that's where you get it on after the game. Sometimes you lose a bit of your night. So the start of the game, I think guys just find an extra hour of the day to either sit tight, sleep, watch the early games, whatever.
After watching it back, we focused a lot on Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek, but do you see anything that makes Boldy dangerous, even though he scored both goals?
Well, he can finish. He's a big man. He can shoot. He got inside. The first goal, his release was excellent, right? I mean, we have people all around the play. We have 5 guys back, so we have to have some awareness on their weak side. Their second goal is a weak side. Spurgeon got in once, top of the circle, pounded one off net, but it was weak side. So that's where we got to be a little bit better in our awareness. But yeah, I think my guess is what they were hoping for Boldy is a little bit of, he comes out of 4 Nations. I mean, he looked like he got bumped up there. I can't speak for sure. I mean, we did play against him, but I'm going to guess he got some confidence from that. And it's probably carrying over into the playoffs here. So we got to make sure we keep him in check that way. That whole line is dangerous. Every time they're on the ice, they're dangerous. So we got to be better against them. And I believe we will. It's the first game of the playoffs. They'll have some things I'm sure they're saying they'll have to be better. But he's the one guy that can fill the net for them in a hurry. So.
Bruce, could you speak to the importance of face-offs? Minnesota seemed to have a great night in the dot the other night. Did you notice that in real time, and how does it affect your team if it's not going your way in that area?
Well, it was a topic of conversation that wasn't an area of strength, and yet they go out, certainly had their way. I think some of it is Eriksson Ek was injured a lot during the year, so you got to be careful what you read into those numbers. He's their best guy. Having said that, okay, so they're good in the dot. How can we get some pucks back even though their center might win kind of the original touch? What about the other guys around us? Can our wingers jump through a little more? Can you try to anticipate? Can we help on the 50-50 pucks in our end with our D being a little more, on our toes? So there's different ways you can sort of balance those numbers if you're not winning it clean. Or does your centerman go in with the intention of tying up if he's having a tough night and saying, hey, I'm just going to go in and try to tie up, come in and help. So there's different strategies. I think it's one game. We're not going to read too much into it, Ghosh, to be honest with you. If it becomes a pattern, then we got to obviously have a plan to make it a little more equitable. Having said that, we scored 2 goals winning faceoffs. So, I mean, there you go. We scored 2 goals winning faceoffs. So I don't think we lost the faceoff battle in the big picture. We just lost the percentage battle.
What's your overall message to your group today?
Get better. Get better. You got to get better as the series goes on. I won't get into all the kind of strategy, different game plan for different things that came up, but just get better and a little bit better in every area. Talked about the weak side coverage. They scored some goals on that, got some looks, so let's make sure we're better there. Maybe a tighter gap. We'll go with that too on their rushes. Our spacing in the O-zone, I thought, could have been better to recover more pucks when they went low to high because they do collapse to the slot. So better in a few of those areas, but just better in general. And that will be my message after game 2, to be quite honest, Gary. You got to get better as the series goes along if you expect to win, and that's what we're trying to do.
What led to the decision to have Schmid as the backup?
It was just the end of the year. We thought he played well, had great composure in there. Short sample size. Sammy hadn't played a lot towards the end. So we just made a decision we'd start this way, get Sammy more touches. He was hurt for a while, missed some live action. We can't replicate that, unfortunately, but we may switch back later. I'm not sure, Danny, on that. Kind of talk to Berkey as we go. He's putting the extra work in with those guys. So we're comfortable either way. That's how we landed on it.